Chris, the solo dad who is doing it all by himself.
I only have $14. Let's see what I can feed my...
Come on, man.
From doing laundry.
Let's go do some more. More laundry.
To feeding the kids.
What they actually ate. My son's refusing to eat school lunch, so today we packed it. We were running.
Doing 12-hour shifts and then coming home to cook food for his 3 children.
What?
He is just doing everything on his own, and that would have been very commendable and inspiring if only he was telling the truth. Spoiler alert, he is not, at least not completely. He pretends to be this hardworking solo dad who is trying to motivate parents by sharing real, transparent parenting content online, but his content isn't as honest or transparent as it may seem at first glance. He is actually very smartly trying to present himself as a sole provider and caretaker while never really saying it out loud that he is single, so that if he ever gets called out, he can defend himself. He posts content showing the reality and struggles of being a solo dad. His entire social media is basically centered around being a solo parent. We mean his username is Chris the Solo Dad. If you don't already know him, then buckle in tight and keep watching, because in today's video we will break it all down for you. His content, why he tries to act like a solo dad, and most importantly, why it is wrong.
Cook with me as a broke dad of 3. 3 kids, 1 broke dad. Let's go shopping at the Dollar Tree. 3 kids, 1 broke dad. Come thrift shopping with me as a broke dad of 3 kids.
Ah yes, behold Chris, the brave, the weary, the allegedly broke solo dad. 1 man, 1 house, 3 kids, and apparently 0 help. He does it all. Laundry, him. Cooking, him. Emotional trauma, probably also him.
I added the applesauce.
I don't know why sharks don't have bones. Have a good day. I love you. Hey, go ahead. Put it in your ear. Yeah. You want your baby? Here's your snacky. Here you go. Forgot it.
Except, plot twist, Chris isn't actually solo. He's been happily married for 15 years to a nurse practitioner. And Chris? He's a 31-year-old physician's assistant in Florida. So, unless they're paying rent in gold bars, calling him broke is kind of like Jeff Bezos calling himself a coupon clipper. However, regardless of what anyone thinks, Chris considers himself a broke dad. He frequently posts content talking about how he looks after his 3 kids while being on a budget. He tells people how you can take your kids out and feed them for just $10 or $9.
I only have $12. Let's see what I can feed my family for dinner. We're at Walmart today. Today we're gonna try and get meat and hide vegetables. I don't know why there's never prices at the tortilla section. These ones are $2.33. We need chicken for this. We're gonna go see if we can find some rotisserie chicken because the chicken prices are ridiculous. These ones are reduced $2 for a rotisserie chicken. I only have $14. Let's see what I can feed my family for dinner. We're going thrift shopping in the richest Goodwill in my area. Let's see what we can find.
While on the surface there is nothing too shocking about his content, he is just a dad who is trying to feed his kids on a budget, right? However, the problem here is that he is not actually as broke as he says he is. He is hopping on the trend train to look broke on social media. If you guys haven't already noticed, pretending to be broke on social media has become a bizarre trend where influencers cosplay poverty for relatability points. Struggling financially is now an aesthetic, not a reality for some creators. It's performative hardship designed to attract sympathy, engagement, and followers, while ignoring the actual struggles real people face daily. If you go look at his TikTok or YouTube account, you will see a lot of videos just like this, of him either cooking food, talking about his life as a solo dad, or just being burnt out from all the work. He captioned this video saying, "Vulnerable post, anyone else feel like they are stuck in the same routine? I've been in a kind of rut lately, feels like I'm experiencing burnout. Social media is a highlight platform where people only show you what they want you to see. It's hard not to compare yourself to others. I never want to be the account you follow that shows unrealistic expectations of what your life should look like. For those who have been following me and care about my posts, thank you. I see you and it means a lot to me." He just loves to post these moody little clips on TikTok and Instagram, him folding laundry, cooking dinner, looking exhausted, while single parents scroll by thinking, finally someone who gets it. His brand screams authenticity, real dad life, he says, just me and the kids, he says, and people believe it because he sells it well. But here's the kicker. When you market yourself as raw and relatable, you take on a certain responsibility. You don't get to cherry pick the parts that make you look like a martyr while conveniently editing out your wife of 15 years and the very real support system you have. That's not authenticity, it's storytelling with a suspiciously curated filter. If you're going to claim you're showing real life, maybe mention the part where your partner helps with the kids or that you tag out after filming to go rest while she takes over. He has managed to gain a huge following on social media by just posting content like this. His TikTok account has almost 800k followers and his YouTube channel also has 448k subscribers, where he posts short-form reels and some vlogs.
Been lightning all morning, raining all day. She just woke up from her nap and now she has stridor. So it's not as bad, but I need to take her to the doctor and get her on some steroids, because I think tonight will be really bad if I don't.
From his following and subscribers alone, you can guess that he is pulling in big money from social media alone. While his YouTube isn't that active, it is still a pretty good revenue source for him if you look at it in terms of views and ads. And because he paints a picture of a struggling solo dad, a lot of people support him in the comments section, saying things like, "You're such a kind, loving, patient, thoughtful, and attentive dad. Your kids are precious angels and so blessed to have a calm, great dad. Your natural herding is awesome. May God bless your family. You're a rare kind of daddy. Your kids are blessed. God has definitely blessed those kids by giving them an awesome dad like you. God bless." It is evident that there are tons of people who think he is an amazing dad, and to be honest, he does look like a great dad. We are not questioning that. What we are questioning is his authenticity as an influencer when he says that he is broke. His YouTube has thousands of views, his TikTok is blowing up. So to call him broke would be a big overstatement. On top of his social media, he also works shifts at his job where he is a physician's assistant. Now, if you know anything about nurses and medical assistants, you will know that they don't exactly qualify as low-paid employees. A quick Google search told us that the average salary of a nurse or a physician's assistant is almost $10,000 per month. According to this website, as of April 27, 2025, the average annual pay for a physician assistant in the United States is $120,212 a year. However, that's not even the weirdest part about his content. If you take one look at his comment section, you will quickly realize that people are very interested in his wife. In fact, she seems to be the main topic of the conversation among his followers. Looking at his content, people wonder where his wife is while he is managing all of this alone. And the reason why people are even questioning this is because in his TikTok bio, he has written that he is a solo parent, not a single parent. It reads, "Dad of 3, solo, not single parenting, trying to encourage other dads." Now before we go any further, let's clear something up because words matter, Chris. There's a big difference between being a single parent and a solo parent. According to Psychology Today, a single parent is someone who is unmarried, widowed, or divorced and not remarried. This household can be headed by a mother, a father, or even a grandparent. On the other hand, solo parenting generally implies that one parent is entirely out of the picture, whether permanently or temporarily, leaving the other parent solely responsible for the child's upbringing. This situation is common in cases of divorce, bereavement, or extended military deployment. So when Chris says he's a solo dad, what he actually means is, "I just didn't wait for my wife to get home before filming myself doing dishes." It's like calling yourself a chef because you microwave leftover lasagna. Technically not illegal, but come on. It is clear that he is playing with words, trying to create a mystery around his wife while never really addressing it or accepting that he has a wife. However, in one instance, he did reply to a comment a user made when he accidentally showed people a glimpse of his wife in a video. This is the video where you can very clearly see a woman greeting him when he comes back home from work.
All right, it's 8:30. I just got home from work. Let's see what the house looks like today.
Give me a
Hi, Mom. Thanks for watching the kids.
So this is the wife, and you can very clearly hear him call her the mom. A user commented on this saying, "I hope you're a single working parent who has sole custody. If not, leave her ass." You would think that if people asked him directly, he might fess up and drop his solo dad cosplay, but he did not. He replied to this comment with a vague and weird video talking about how hard it is to be a solo parent. To be honest, he is just there trying to tell people what it's like to live a life of such struggles while completely ignoring the main question.
This is what a house looks like when you have 3 kids, 6 and under, never-ending laundry pile of shoes. Let's see what's over here. And more dirty clothes. I just had a chance to look at the comment section, and you all are being wild. There's something we need to address. All right, I'm gonna talk while I'm getting ready for the gym. My mom is here. Thankfully, she's letting me go. I haven't gone in a very long time. Now, this isn't applicable to my situation, but a lot of comments on there about the spouse or partner needing to take care of the kids, clean the house, come home, cook dinner, and all of that. And I can tell you one thing, and Joey Fu, the stay-at-home dad, he can tell you too, that it is probably way harder taking care of 3 kids and maintaining the house and cleaning and making sure everyone's surviving than it is to even go to work, to be honest.
So he completely ignores the comments asking about his wife like they're written in invisible ink. He just launches into a TED Talk about how hard parenting is, like that's what anyone asked. People are just trying to figure out if he's actually solo, and instead he's out here monologuing about how tough it is to pack school lunches. It's almost impressive how he sidesteps the question entirely, like a magician pulling Deflection out of a hat. "Where's your wife?" turns into, "Being a parent is the hardest job in the world." Okay, sure, but you didn't answer the question, Chris. That's like being asked where your car keys are and replying, "You know, driving really takes a toll on you emotionally." And this isn't the only time he has done it either. Like we said earlier, his comment section is practically filled with people who are curious about his wife. Comments like, "Just curious what solo dad means, you and mom are separated?" And "Where's the wife?" But 9 times out of 10, Chris just doesn't reply. It's like the questions are invisible, poof, gone with the digital wind. However, every now and then when he does respond, it's always the same vague non-answer. Something like, "I'm just trying to highlight what parenting looks like day to day." Translation, I don't want to admit I'm not actually doing this alone because the solo dad narrative gets more engagement. He dodges the question like it's a dodgeball championship, swerve, spin, deflect, and distract. Instead of a clear, "Yes, I have a wife and we co-parent," we get philosophical fluff about the struggles of parenting. And that's the whole issue. It's not just that Chris exaggerates, it's that he carefully curates an image of struggle that doesn't reflect his real circumstances, and then tiptoes around the truth when people call it out. Because once you admit you've got help and that you're not actually a solo warrior raising 3 kids on your own, well, the whole brand starts to look a little shaky, doesn't it? He also posted this Q&A video on his Instagram where he is answering some random questions about himself and explains what, according to him, solo parenting is.
I work full time. Between that and the kids, I don't have a lot of time to shoot these videos. I had a lot of questions, so we're just gonna try to go through them one by one. First one I got was, how old are my kids? I have a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 4-month-old. What kind of work do I do? I'm a physician assistant. So what happened to my foot? So I hurt it at work. I bent down and I felt a immediate sharp pain in my heel, and so I have some tendonitis and bursitis. Someone asked me how old I was. I am old. I'm 31. What do I do for fun? I like to be outdoors. I like to hike. I like to go fishing. Somebody asked me if I'm gonna start vlogging for YouTube. I am thinking about it. Let me know if you guys wanna see some vlogs. I'm kind of playing with the idea. I do have a YouTube channel. It's the_solodad, just like my TikTok and Instagram. So I got asked a really good question. It was, why did I start my channel? So I wanted to build a community for parents to come together, to motivate each other, inspire each other. I just want to share what kind of struggles I go through as a parent and some of my funny things that happen along the way. The biggest question I get asked is, what's the difference between a solo parent and a single parent? Am I single? Am I married? So the difference between a solo parent and a single parent is essentially, as a solo parent, you are parenting the children while the partner is away, either being deployed or at work. As a single parent, pretty much you're parenting by yourself. Children's father or mother is not there to help.
Someone commented under this post saying, I guess my husband and I were solo parents. We also worked opposite shifts, so our kids were never in daycare for many reasons and had some family to help. Another example of him being sneaky with his entire solo parenting thing is YouTube description. It reads, Hi, thanks for being here. My name is Chris and I am a dad of 3. I have a son and 2 daughters who are my world. I created this channel to focus on solo parenting and inspire others to be better parents and partners. My channel is full of fun, laughter, and reminders that you are not alone. Follow if you would like to be a part of my journey through parenthood. By mentioning things like better partners and that you are not alone, he just stays on the gray area, never really accepting or denying the burning question. On top of this, he also apparently deletes messages. We don't know for sure if he does that, but many internet discussions about him highlight that he has been deleting comments about his wife on his TikTok account as well as on his YouTube channel. When we looked at his Instagram comment section, almost all of the comments seemed to be applauding him, which made us wonder if he has been filtering out the comments. Now this, according to us, is very, very sketchy. It's one thing trying to hide something, and it's another thing entirely to actively delete comments under your post to hide from it. The fact that Chris deletes comments asking about his wife isn't just a harmless moderation choice, it points to something much deeper: deception. This isn't simply a case of someone choosing to keep their personal life private, it's an active effort to maintain a false narrative. By erasing any mention of his spouse, Chris isn't just avoiding awkward questions, he's crafting an illusion. He stands alone, burdened, doing the hard work of parenting solo. But the truth is, he's married. He has a partner of 15 years, someone who's not only present but also successful and supportive. Deleting those comments means he isn't just omitting the truth, he's deliberately covering it up to uphold the persona of the struggling solo dad. That's the bigger issue. It's not just inauthentic, it's manipulative. He's capitalizing on the empathy people naturally feel toward overwhelmed single parents, leveraging it for views, engagement, and even monetary gain. The moment you start deleting reality to protect a lie, it stops becoming content and starts being a performance. A performance that, no matter how convincing, is built on pretending to be someone you're not, at the expense of the people you're imitating. Now, you might be thinking how the internet even finds out that he has a wife if he doesn't talk about it. The thing about the internet is that it always finds a way to dig out the truth. When Chris refused to comment on the existence of his wife, people do what they do best. They investigated and they found an old video of him, which we believe was posted in September of 2023. We think he forgot that the video existed, and he probably posted before his social media and the whole solo dad thing took off. In this video, he admitted that he is married. He also said that he and his wife work opposite shifts, and the reason why she is never in his videos is because she doesn't want to be on camera for privacy reasons.
Sorry, I had to change locations. I had to do this on another day to finish because things got a little crazy with the kids. I am not single. These are just my adventures as solo parenting. I've been together with my wife for over 15 years. We both work in healthcare and we alternate days. She works 12-hour shifts, I work 12-hour shifts, so we never really see each other. These videos are from those days that I have the kids the entire day, from morning time, getting ready for breakfast, getting my son off to school, to the afternoon and evening when I'm getting him ready for bed and everything. My wife doesn't really want to be on camera. I'll try to sneak her on there for you guys. I don't know, she might be a little mad at me if I do, but we'll see what happens.
This is part of the same Q&A that we showed you earlier. However, it was posted in 2023 well before Chris's TikTok page took off and he started ignoring all questions regarding his wife. Now let's discuss the fact that his wife doesn't want to be on camera. If Chris's wife doesn't want to be on camera, a boundary he clearly doesn't respect, then what makes him think his kids want to be? Children can't truly consent to having their lives broadcast for public consumption, especially when they're too young to understand what that means. Chris routinely films his children during personal, emotional, or mundane moments and uploads them for an audience of strangers under the guise of relatable parenting. But these aren't just harmless clips, they're pieces of their childhood being packaged and monetized without their informed say. It's one thing to share your own life online, but it's another to volunteer someone else's, especially a child's. Studies and child psychologists have warned against this growing trend of sharenting, pointing to long-term consequences like privacy invasion, online bullying, digital footprint issues, and even exploitation. Once a video is uploaded, it lives online forever, well past the point when that child might decide they didn't want to be part of the inherent circus to begin with. If Chris can understand that his wife's comfort and privacy matter, it's time he extends the same courtesy to his kids. However, we can't argue that there are countless other parents online who are doing the same thing, so we can't really say that he is doing the most horrible things ever. At the same time though, he shares a lot of sensitive information, especially medical information, which again is something we are not really a fan of. You can't just come online and tell the whole wide world about medical issues your kids are facing. Look at this video for instance, where he is disinfecting his house an hour before a playdate.
All my kids just had COVID. They have a play date in 1 hour. We need to disinfect everything.
We're just gonna use this stuff.
I don't really know how much to put in. Things we need to focus on, all the door handles, everything that was touched, cooler that my son threw up in. I'm afraid to even open this.
We need to get these trash cans. There's a bunch of poop diapers in them. We're just gonna close all the doors where I don't want people to go. 100% closing this bathroom. We need to figure out where to put all this laundry.
Kids are feeling much better. All they have left is a cough.
Since we're already in the bathroom, we might as well clean this.
The hardest part about cleaning with kids is the kids.
Can you get that out of your mouth?
We're gonna disinfect everything with hypochlorous acid. Plug it in.
It's getting electrolyzed.
We have to wait till that turns green and then it's ready to go. Let's clean the rest of the house.
Now she took the toilet paper roll.
Give it.
I only have about 25 minutes left. We need to hurry up and start disinfecting. How long should those soak before they're actually clean? Can't forget the light switches.
I don't think people really judge if a kid's room is messy, so we're not gonna even attempt to clean it. All right, they're here.
For obvious reasons, people were really mad about this. One user commented under the video saying the responsible thing to do would be to cancel the playdate. Well, if he did, how would he get content and rage bait people into commenting on his videos? Think like an influencer, Kristen. Other people have also commented on the video saying things like, "Why are your kids always sick? You just had COVID 4 days ago. They still have a cough? I would be furious if you didn't give me a heads up before the playdate. I would give it at least a few weeks until I invite people over. If you have a cooler with throw up still in it, probably too soon to have friends over. We just had COVID-19 2 weeks ago. I'm still sick." But even if we look over this, the main issue here is that he has been lying about being a solo parent. This is mainly what's making people really upset, especially those who have been watching him for a very long time. Most of the people who watch him are probably internet users who come across his videos while randomly scrolling through the social media landscape. They see a guy who is making ends meet, putting food on the table for his 3 kids, and he is doing it all alone. These people don't really question the authenticity of his claims, and they know nothing about his content in general. For them, he is the hero. However, for those who know what he is trying to do, he is nothing but a liar. While some people are rightfully asking, why is he trying to pretend to be a single parent? There's a whole other crowd in the comments practically throwing confetti. To them, Chris is dad of the year, doing it all alone, cooking, cleaning, parenting like a hero with no cape, just a ring light. They gush over how amazing he is for managing everything solo, not realizing the solo act is, well, just that, an act, because he is not doing it all alone. However, some people have a, let's say, flexible definition of solo parenting. To them, if you're alone with the kids for 5 minutes while your partner runs to the store, congratulations, you're solo parenting. But for most of us, and let's be honest, the majority of the internet, solo parenting means something far more serious. raising children entirely on your own without a co-parent in the picture at all. So even if the technical definition is up for debate, the way people interpret it matters. And that's exactly why being transparent is so important. If you're going to brand yourself as a solo parent online, especially to gain sympathy, relatability, or engagement, you owe it to your audience to clarify what that actually means in your case. Otherwise, you're not just stretching the truth, you're misleading people who actually live that reality every single day. The truth is that Chris is not what he shows. Behind the scenes, there's a wife of 15 years, a shared parenting load, and a whole support system conveniently edited out of frame. So while his followers are handing him medals for bravery, he's really just playing the role of struggling single dad for the algorithm. Yeah, sure, raising 3 kids is a difficult job, even with help, but it doesn't make you better than all the other parents, especially when they are solo parents, who are going through much more to provide for their children. The real heroes are those solo parents who don't have any support from their partners or from their family, and they are not earning 6-digit salaries and pumping in money through exploitation of their children. While looking into him, we also found out that people have very mixed feelings about him. Some say that he is wrong for portraying a lie and trying to show his life in a very fabricated way. However, on the other hand, there are people who think he is doing nothing wrong at all. We came across this Reddit post about him that reads, "He keeps popping up on my FYP. Does anyone know anything about him and his backstory? According to him, he's a solo dad, not a single dad, so no ex is involved, or did he have the kids by himself via surrogate?" This post alone and the flood of confused comments underneath is enough to show just how muddled Chris has made things. He could have gone with a genuine parenting angle, showing how he and his wife juggle work and kids together like a real, relatable couple. But instead, he chose to lean into this mysterious solo dad persona, and now people don't know if he's single, married, or auditioning for a role in a Hallmark drama. People commented under this Reddit post saying things like, "What a scam. Misleading people like this is fraud. Constantly getting them to donate money to him is ridiculous when he has a partner that also works full-time, making $100K a year." Another user said, "I've been searching all his social media, reading his bios, and not once have I read anything about a wife or partner. It's all about him being a solo dad, working and raising 3 kids, and he also repeatedly refers to himself as the broke solo dad. I've seen in one, he's saying he's having a tough time, so he's so thankful his mother is there to help. I commend what he's doing, but his wife's doing the same thing without misleading people with a false narrative so she can make enough money to be a stay-at-home parent. It's just very shady, and it makes me very uncomfortable, because I fell for it until I started digging. I knew something didn't add up. How was he working 12 to 14-hour shifts while being a solo dad? He would probably get just as many, if not more followers if he was honest." However, on the flip side of the coin, other people are supporting him and saying that he is doing nothing wrong. For instance, this one user commented, "I don't think he is scamming anyone. He has been very open on his page about being married and he and his wife being nurses that work opposite shifts, so they don't have to do childcare." From a Reddit thread about him, we also found out that he doesn't wear a wedding ring in most of his videos, which again points towards one thing. He is deliberately trying to hide that he is married. If he talked about it, people would know that he is not someone who fits the typical definition of being a solo dad. That being said, we would like to move on to another more recent drama with Chris the solo dad. Only a few months ago, this creator on YouTube by the name of the Dad Challenge Podcast made a video on Chris. The video was titled, "The Solo Dad Should Just Stop Lying to Everyone." The video was posted 3 months ago and has 113K views, so it did pretty well. Now, the video is pretty long and very emotionally charged, but we are going to give you guys a quick summary. So in this video, this guy was pretty mad about all the lies Chris has been telling. However, we feel like the video was more focused on his wife than on him. He started the video by saying that he has found out the identity of Solo Dad's wife. He didn't mention her name or anything, but he did show a picture of her, which we believe was posted by another creator. To be fair, he made some really fair points in his video.
No, they're all mine. They're all biological kids. I love them all so much.
But not enough to protect them, even though I know the dangers of it online and I'm literally working in medical field and understand about consent. But you know, it is one of those.
Do I plan on having more kids?
Let me ask my spousal partners. I was looking at right now. Spousal partner, should we have more offspring? No? No. You're mad I called you spousal partner? No, I understand why. I should not have called you spousal partner. It's giving chest feeding.
He also talked about how Chris's wife gets to remain a secret, but his children's faces are plastered all over the internet.
And what pissed me off about all that is that he's exploiting his children, but his wife gets to enjoy anonymity. Anonymity? So she gets to be like secret, right? But her children don't. Her children get to be on the internet through all their sicknesses and poops and dirty house and all that kind of stuff, and basically exploiting children. Gets to enjoy being private, which is, you know, it's nice for her, but that really tells you a lot that you need to know, because she doesn't allow her children to be private, but she wants to be absolutely private. And it was actually hard to find her until a creator called Jessica Danielle, I think that's how you pronounce her last name, did a video on him yesterday, 2 days ago, as you're watching this today, and she exposed her. And here's the picture right here. This is Solo Dad's wife, Chris. I don't think, a lot of people are saying her name is Lori, but I don't think that's her name. It could be, but they're like, oh, she's connected to this marriage couple strong vlog, but I don't see the picture of her in that couple strong vlog. We're looking into it, and if you guys know more, I'm happy to expose who she is, because again, she doesn't allow her children to have privacy on the internet, but wants it herself.
Now, this, at least from our perspective, is a very valid point. He raised important questions about Chris's online persona and the confusion he's created around his family situation. But where it starts to cross the line is when they claim or suggest his wife might be a convicted felon. Yes, they made some fair observations, and a lot of what they're saying isn't necessarily wrong. But framing it with dramatic accusations weakens the credibility of the actual critique and shifts the focus from accountability to gossip. However, this is just the beginning of everything that went down. If you think Chris was going to put up with his wife's face being exposed like this, you are wrong. After this guy posted his video, Chris ended up messaging the creator's wife on social media and threatening her. Yes, he is not so gentle and kind after all. But before we show you the message he sent her, here is a little bit of context. Before Chris texted his wife, he actually reached out to Chris regarding an arrest record or something. He said that he wouldn't put it in his video if it wasn't true, so he basically wanted to fact check and ask Chris if this piece of information was authentic. Sure, like he would totally tell. Anyways, after this interaction, the Challenge Dad podcast posted another video, this time exposing Chris for threatening his wife.
You can call me whatever you want name, you can message me, tell me to F off, you can throw slanderous remarks all day long, I don't give a shit. Just don't talk to my wife.
So in this message he wrote, "My name is Chris and I am a dad of 3 who makes content trying to encourage dads to be more active in their kids' lives and be better partners by showing me solo parenting. Your husband is harassing, bullying me, and doxing my personal information, putting my kids' safety at risk. I already contacted the FBI and I will be contacting your local police department in Canada. Does the Board of Nursing and your hospital know what your husband is doing? It's illegal, and in Canada, you can be arrested for 6 years if found guilty. I have screenshots, recordings, and pics of emails of every time he has contacted me, and I've had enough. Please tell him to leave me and my family alone." Even if the creator crossed a line by exposing photos of Chris's wife, something that definitely could have been handled with more care, Chris absolutely should not have taken it upon himself to contact the creator's wife. That's dragging someone's personal life into internet drama who had nothing to do with the content, and it's a step too far. No matter how upset he was, 2 wrongs don't make a right, and personal retaliation only makes things messier. At the end of the day, the reason Chris is facing so much heat isn't just because someone made a video about him, it's because he's built an online identity on shaky ground. Whether it's full-blown fabrication or just selective storytelling, portraying himself as a solo parent while omitting key truths is what got him into this mess. Technically, legal description is what it boils down to. Chris isn't breaking any laws. He's not stealing, committing fraud, or doing anything that could get him arrested. On paper, he's just a dad posting videos of his life. But once you peel back the layers, it becomes clear that what he is doing is misleading a massive audience for clout and sympathy. He's capitalizing on struggles of single and solo parents, glamorizing the idea of being broke, and building a brand off relatability that doesn't actually reflect his real circumstances. He deletes questions, dodges criticism, and curates a version of his life that carefully omits key facts, like the presence of a supportive wife and a dual-income household. And while that's not illegal, it's disingenuous. It's emotional manipulation dressed up as content, and in a time when authenticity is currency online, knowingly presenting a false narrative for clicks and praise is its own kind of scam. So no, Chris isn't doing anything technically wrong, but he is walking the fine line between content creator and con artist, with a smile, a mop, and 3 kids in the background who didn't sign up to be part of the illusion. With this, we would like to end this video. If you have stayed this far into the video, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Don't hesitate to leave a comment down below and let us know your thoughts about Chris, the solo dad. Do you think he is doing anything wrong, or is he just being smart with his branding? But most importantly, we would like to know your take on the hot topic. Sharenting? Do you think it's okay for parents to share details of their children's daily life, and if yes, to what extent is it okay?